share with them whatever is in your mind without getting straight into it. What has been
Good
happening in the
afternoon.
space of marketing and commercial worldwide football, just in a nutshell.
First of all, good afternoon. It's afternoon, am I
Yeah.
correct? To everybody. I think, Vina, you're tempting them too much. I think they'll ask other questions as well. But glad to have the media here today. It's a bumper week for football. I was saying to the team, it feels like we're going to have the Super Bowl of football happening here on the weekend. And we're very excited about that. Talking about the derby, and that's why we're here. Bertie and I want to obviously engage with all stakeholders, particularly our supporters and football loving people, to say first and foremost, we're in for an amazing, amazing derby experience. But we're asking that supporters work with us. It's important that we as event holders run the events properly, do all the things to make sure the experience is exciting. But the big thing here today is to say, can supporters come early? Can supporters come on time? We've made sure through our sponsors and other partners that there's absolutely bumper event happening for them. There's a lot of activation happening. We have the Toyota Zone where we have about 500 cars that can come in and park for free. We have giveaways happening there. We have Carling, our new sponsor, activating. They are giving away, they have a number of giveaways, giving away prizes, giving away cash at the activation zone, as well as a trip to the FIFA World Cup. So you go to that activation inside the stadium, you go to the Carling kiosk, and you'll be able to qualify for that. We have Supersport Bet who are doing giveaways. We have Vodacom who are doing giveaways, giving away flags. Supersport Bet giving away the foam hands. So we're saying to people, please come in on time, because not only have we as a club created excitement and entertainment for you, but our sponsors have come to the party to make sure that you as supporters come and have a great time. And there's major, major giveaways. Entertainment, you've got Buhle who has one of the top songs in South Africa performing. So the entertainment is going to be starting early. We're making sure the gates are open at 11, and we're saying traffic is going to be tight. People need to come early. It's also important that we as event holders do the work, but we want supporters to come in on time and enjoy themselves. And also, we want the game to start on time. I think that's a very, very important one. We want the game to start on time, Vina, and we're looking forward to a great event, Bertie. Am I correct?
Indeed, we are.
So, Jessica, the message is very clear. Come early, meaning the tickets are sold out. Ticket here Sunday. So we're asking you as members of the media to assist, to raise the volume of the message that has been shared by Jessica. She mentioned just one or two of the activations. There are many other activations taking place. There's Coca-Cola as well.
Coca-Cola is giving away tickets. I hope people are on our platforms and making sure if you don't have a ticket, Coca-Cola is giving away tickets. If you don't have a ticket, Vodacom is giving away tickets. But also, you say itikite sandleni, itikite phoning. I think we need to be clear that I'm excited about how the world is changing. Very digital, and excited that we as a stadium as well as a club are moving with the trends. And we want to make sure that people come with their phones, charge your phones, get a power bank if you need it. Make sure your phone, you can see the ticket. Make sure, obviously, that your lights are on in terms of that the brightness is on, but also make sure that you are in the queues on time so you can scan your ticket. The QR code changes all the time, so if you to make sure for security reasons that we're able to make sure that we get the right ticket. And I think Bertie will speak to the ticketing process. And I think it's an evolution, guys. We saw it at the AFCON, we're seeing it at all events. And I'm excited that we as South Africans are internationalizing our game and making sure we are at the right level in terms of being able to host games of this nature, where the digital space now is starting to change the game and also helping us with the counterfeit tickets. Guys, we've had serious, serious issues with the counterfeit tickets, and that's why we've adopted this model. And as much as there's teething processes around it, I'm comfortable to say that we will really make sure that through the lessons that have been learned with the past events, that the ticketing experience is very smooth, so people can enjoy the game when they get in.
As a FIFA person yourself, I thought you'll throw something of winning a ticket to a World Cup.
I did, Vina. I said one of the exciting things is our sponsors have really come to the party to make sure that people come and have a great time. And one of the things that I'm excited about is the fact that one of our supporters, a lucky supporter who goes to the Carling kiosk and the Carling activation, will be able to win a ticket to the World Cup.
Wow.
I'll be there. I'm hoping to spend some time with them. And also, there are many giveaways. There's cash giveaways, and there's a lot of exciting things happening. And I think it's about the whole day experience. So we're asking supporters to come in as early as 11 because gates will be open.
I heard Jabu talking about putting a fridge at the media tribune with some nice sweet drinks, I'm sure. But let's leave that for another day. Then I think Jess has put on and laid it down nicely to show supporters that we care as organizers and we want people to come as early as possible. There's no way you can come to the stadium at 11 and sit without doing anything.
Yes.
There'll be all round activity galore inside the stadium and outside of the stadium. Please give us from your side, what have you been doing to prepare from lessons learned in the past and as well as doing it better to stage the best show?
Yes, Vina, thank you, and good afternoon to members of the media. What's encouraging to me is the fact that the club with stadium management as the venue authority, we made one firm decision, and we can't allow the fake ticket holders and overcapacity to dictate the game day for us. To achieve a more fan-friendly experience, we need to improve on the access control to the venue. And I think we all agree, we've all been involved in the last 3-4 fixtures at the venue. I also said to you, it's going to come with pain. We're not nearly, with the last couple of games, we're not nearly where we want to be. But we're going in the right direction. We all realize that it's not going to be, with the lessons from the past, it wasn't a smooth experience as we would have liked it to be. The fact is, in relation to the early arrivals, and I've said it to you in the past week as well, we need to deal with 51,000 people in the last hour at the last 2 derbies. To get those amount of people and that number of people into the venue puts pressure on any system, puts pressure on the crowd management, puts pressure on the crowd control. People need to arrive early, but with that being said, and we've never, you know me, I'm not a person hiding behind anything. If you arrive early, the processes and the systems in place has to be smooth as well. We're really working hard towards that. You'll already see some improvements tomorrow evening as well with the fixture against Stellenbosch. But please stick with us, the public as well, and the fan base and fan support. I don't want to see an event ever again where we have 110,000 people inside the venue and we have 5,000 or 2,000 or 10 people outside with legitimate tickets. It's not a process that's going to change overnight. There's a lot of questions. Why did we not wait until the next season to implement it from the start? We could not approach a derby again with that risk. From a venue perspective, the club, they're looking after the entertainment on the pitch. They're looking after the activations and having people enjoyable experience for fans and spectators when they enter the venue. It is the role and the responsibility of the venue authority, together with other ESSPC stakeholders, to ensure a safe entry into the venue and a safe experience. That is foremost on the forefront for us. So, yeah, as I said, not as we would have expected it over the last 3 fixtures, but we're moving towards a system that will allow for safe and a fan-friendly experience.
Wow. So, Bertie, you're saying you're working closely with law enforcers to deal with fake tickets. and those that will be taking a chance to wait and see if the gates will be open and perhaps gain entry for free, the police will be there.
Yes, there's crowd management and then there's crowd control. Crowd management lies within the ambit of the venue and safety and security. Crowd control comes in when you find people without tickets trying to force entry. I've got no doubt at the first validation point, we're once again going to have people that break through that system. We had an extensive meeting with South African Police Services and specifically POPs on Friday last week to redeploy the POPs members to assist the crowd management process, even before it becomes a necessity to control the crowd. And we must also realize those syndicates, they thrive on chaos. They want to create chaos. They want to create a scene to have the gates open. We need to find the balance in protecting the fan experience and allowing for safe access, and to deal with that criminal element that wants to gain access. So it is not the flick of a finger to change this unfortunate plague that's been growing over the last couple of years.
Watching that, now let's talk about the traffic management. Without a parking ticket, leave your car elsewhere, take park and ride, and make sure that you open up for those that have got tickets.
Indeed, Vina, the parking in and around the precinct, although we make use of the expo center as well, it's limited. So if you can drive with friends, if you can use the park and ride system that's available, it's going to alleviate a lot of pressure on the traffic and then the congestion an hour before kickoff. What we've also seen is people in the parking areas taking out their cool boxes and spending some time in the parking areas and then only entering the venue within that hour before kickoff. There's more people in the precinct, but they stay in the parking areas. So with all the activations that's been arranged by the club, there's a lot to do. Please, when you arrive at the venue, make your way to the access gates and enter the venue.
While Betty was talking, I'm sure, Jessica, there are several other elements that popped in your head before we ask members of the media for one or two questions.
I think it's to reinforce what Bertie's saying, and most important is to say, come into the stadium. There's a lot of activities happening. I mean, we're the glamour team. We're hoping our supporters will also look good and come in and take advantage of what Betway is offering, being the best dressed supporter. Like I said, we've got our sponsors activating. There's food and drinks. There's just so much happening for the entire family. We've got the family zone happening where families can have a safe environment with their children and enjoy the game. So it's really come in and have a great experience. And let's have an amazing derby, an event that speaks not just only about Chiefs and Pirates, but our league, and also speaks about South Africa as a host. They can host events of this nature and speak about the African continent that's really able to host events that are credible.
So every nation prides themselves with their derbies, with their big events. Classico, Man City, what is it? Man City, Man United matches. You go to Cairo, you've got derbies happening everywhere. So this is South African baby, and this is something that we need to guard jealously and make sure that we present to the world. But members of the media, we rely on you from today to push the message to the public, arrive early and bring your ticket with your phone to the stadium. Don't come without a ticket. Entertainment galore at the stadium. Please help repeat the message. You play a big role in this one and we'll be relying on you. We're going to ask if there is a very, that question, really, that you can't miss asking. Please throw it on the table.
Yes. I'm just looking at how the tickets are sold, and I'm looking at the trend. Usually, this derby was in October, November, the first one. Last season, it was inside the second round. Again, this season, it's inside the second round. In terms of scheduling, isn't there something better that can be done? I'm not saying the demand was not going to be the same, but But maybe in terms of scheduling, is it possible that this year we can go back to what it was? We have a very inside the first round and not two others inside the second round.
Look, we have to understand scheduling is a big challenge, not just for our league, but for many leagues on the continent. And it's something that we, from a footballing point of view, need to sit and look at. But I think the PSL is very diligent around how they do the scheduling of stuff. Obviously, we need to look back and review it. But certainly, we have to look at the fact that last season we started the league late because there was a new sponsorship coming in. We also are in a World Cup year. So there's a lot of things happening that impact. It's not just one factor. And we try very much to work closely with the league to make sure, as clubs and their system, to make sure that we have proper scheduling. So I think there'll be a review to say how do we best optimize and make sure that this works for all parties involved.
We're going to take the next question, and of course, certain things happened during that time. AFCON is one of them, and Jessica will mention the other big activity that affected, the venue, the scheduling. Bertie, while listening, any effect do you feel from the scheduling point of view with regard to the stadium?
No, I think what Jessica said is spot on. It was definitely the derby initially would have been scheduled in the first quarter, in the first round, I mean. But due to the last year, it was, as you rightly said, the reason, and this year, the AFCON.
Bear in
that
mind
went
also
around.
we had the G20 that took place in the country. So there are various things that affect the scheduling. And I think the PSL will obviously be aware of this. There's always a review and assessment of the season and how to better improve scheduling. But like I said, it's something that the continent is dealing with as well. And I think the world is dealing with all the types of fixtures, competitions. That's something we as stakeholders have to look at quite seriously.
Looking at the club president announcing also the change of the calendars going forward to give more answers to your question. We'll go to the last two questions.
Last two. I need to give a
Yes.
few more.
You mentioned something about the parking lot to mitigate the traffic flow. We know that we do have an issue with regards to the late coming as well. That's for the activation of the park and ride that is happening. Do you want to maybe mention more details on some of the entrances that people can use to go to those parking lot facilities?
So the park and ride stop and go will be in the eastern overflow. So that's situated at gate G, and gate K will be the main entry points. And you can purchase the tickets on the MyTicket website as well and on the MyTicket platform. And there's various departure points. Sorry, I haven't got it in front of me now. Where you leave your car, they drive you to the drop-off, and you'll be picked up there again. What is important for me is the fact that JMPD has created a dedicated lane for those buses. So you won't be stuck in traffic. We've seen it very successful with the concerts, and I really hope it picks up for football and sporting fixtures as well. For the last Chris Brown concert, there were 15,000 people commuted via park and ride. Now, can you imagine if you take 15,000 people off the road with vehicles? It will elevate the experience, and it will lessen the congestion at the entry points definitely as well.
Bertie, I think we're going to put that on our website. We'll obviously share it with the media again.
Yes.
As our stakeholder, it's important that you help us get that information out.
Anyone in front? We'll go to the back still. There's a hand. Please go ahead.
CFP is somebody who to that. Can you just give us feedback on the match that took place last week with the Orlando Pirates and the Star Council for the headache? So if you have a positive you take from that and
I said in the ESSPC meeting, the people that arrived before that last hour, hotspot hour, very positive feedback on how easy it was to enter and gain access. People that entered in the last hour, some very negative feedback on their experience. And I think what contributed to that is we tried to expedite the process by allowing fans to scan themselves. So the scanning devices was designed that you put your phone or your ticket and you scan yourself. We thought it will quicken up the process. I think it delayed the process. So we've now, for tomorrow evening and for the derby, we've got an outside company that specializes in scanning fan services to man the physical scanning devices to scan on behalf of a fan. I think it will grow as time goes that people will learn how to scan because you need to maneuver the ticket. We've also deployed at each and every turnstile the fan services to assist the fans to take their phone and scan on their behalf. So the main reason I see for the negativity and the concern is the congestion and what it creates. And I again reiterate, people that want to gain access unauthorized and with a fake ticket, they thrive on that. That is the way they can force the BOC to make a decision to put the turnstiles on free flow. So yeah, that's good lessons learned, and we also tweaked some stuff with the designers on the platform as well. Time-wise, where the ticket is stored, where the barcode is stored. A very positive feedback as well is the rotating and barcode and the border of the ticket that moves, because you can identify fake tickets a mile away.
So no copies will be able to scan. I think what's also great is the information kiosks and people who are around to share, to assist, to make sure that people have access and have help.
Honeywell stops right there, Bertie and Jessica, and leaving no stone unturned. Shaba, let's go for it.
To both parties. I'm sure definitely I'm going to speak on behalf of all my colleagues who were there the other day. The previous derby, we ended up sitting in the media center with hundreds of fans who invaded that space. Stadium management and Kaiser Chiefs, how sure are we that our equipment, our space will be secured? Because it ended up being very rowdy and physical between some of us as members of the media and the fans.
If I can go first, and that is the reason why I'm sitting here and for the last 2 weeks taking some shots on the nose. It's exactly what you said there. It's not only the media. There were people invading hospitality suites. There were 110,000 people in an 87,000 stadium. What huge risk is that for life? So I'm willing to, and I've said it from the start, I'm willing to sit here and take the shots for now because I know we're on the right way. And that is why I believe the club is supporting us as well. We can't allow that to happen again.